we've got to execute better and be more consistent in that area. And when we do that, we'll be able to have the things that we want. You know, the big thing for us is not letting this game beat us twice, and realizing that roughly half the teams in the country are 0-1 and half the teams in the country are 1-0 right now. So what are we going to do from here? And making sure that we don't put too much focus on one game. Whether we came out on top or we came out where we did, but we'd be having the same conversation in that regard. But I think sometimes you can learn a lot from these. You know, obviously, we would like to have been on the other side, but it didn't happen that way. So we're forced to deal with the reality, which is we've got to learn a lot. The last play of the game and a couple other situations, but I know you guys think I'm perfect, but I'm not. That's a joke. But I kind of messed that deal up pretty good. We actually, I was talking about the number 48 kid. He had a sack on the second to last play, I think, in the first half. I had him on the brain, and it was actually 55 that made the sack, and they were in actually cover 1, which is man. They weren't in cover 0, man. So yeah, I'm proved I'm not perfect, which I'm sure y'all didn't know that up until now, but. Yeah, I made a mistake on that one for sure. But and Brian and I were looking at it right there after that, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was the one where 55 sacked him. So I've watched a few thousand plays, but that's no excuse. I should have made a better call on that, making sure that everybody understood. But nonetheless, it was a very similar play. They looked almost identical, and they really did create some problems for us. So that leads me into the thing we've got to do a much better job of handling some of the different types of games that we saw up front. You know, we've got a bunch of really good players that I'm really proud to have here, but, you know, they played together in their first game, and I think we probably played like that for the most part. We've got a long way to go, but I know that those guys are committed, and I think they were, you know, obviously they have a lot better performances in them, and I know they're going to be working hard forward to make sure that we show that we're capable of doing what we think we can do. So they were last year, really big team, terrific linebacker, guy's a really good player. I think he's an NFL type guy. They say he's one of the smartest players on the team, makes a lot of plays. They got an NFL corner I think is really good. They got a bunch of big dudes up front on the defensive line. Another big offensive line that he's got. The quarterback is very different from the one they had last year. I think he was their leading rusher, if I'm not mistaken, or at least he carried the ball the most. And he's a big dude. He's a big old guy. Not the fastest guy like the Morris kid was, but he is a big dude. And he ran the ball quite a bit for him. He threw pretty good. He was 17 to 27, but I thought the guy poses some problems. He's a lot different than what they were last year with regard to how he moves around, but he's definitely capable of hurting you. He can hurt you with his arm, and he's certainly a big dude. He's not easy to tackle. You get in third and short situations. I mean, quarterback runs something you have to be aware of. I think they do a really good job in special teams. Coach Bonamigo is one of those. He's a special teams coordinator from in the NFL, and he's always going to have them ready to go. They were missing some starters the other day, and when you turn on the tape, you really don't sense that you've got a backup in there. I mean, their nickel played pretty well, and their number 17 wasn't there. I'm not sure where he was, but he wasn't there. He's a good player, 17 is, but his backup played really, really well. They had a couple of guys ejected, and both those guys were pretty good players, so they shouldn't be with them, I don't think, in the first half, but in the second half, we're going to have to deal with them. I think they do a good job in the kicking game. They're opportunistic defensively. They had 3 turnovers in the first 4 drives. And offensively, they've got some weapons. So, it's going to be a tough task going on the road, but I know our guys are excited about it, and we feel like it's a good matchup.